is Allison, and my family and I are undergoing a foster care journey, and so we wanted to just kind of chronicle our experiences and hopefully be a blessing to others out there who are either currently fostering, have fostered, or may foster in the future. So I wanted to start with this video about talking about just the overall foster care approval process, and just kind of walk through what the steps were for us with our specific agency. So there are agencies out there that kind of act as a buffer between the state and the foster families. And so you can go through an agency, or if you're brave, like some people I know, you can go straight through the state. So for us, we chose an agency. We've never been foster parents before. We have 3 little girls of our own, so any help that we could get in this process was definitely appreciated. So that's one of the reasons we went through an agency. So right now it's August, and we started our journey last December. So with our agency, the initial step is to go have basically an orientation where you just learn about the agency, you learn about foster care, you kind of learn about the process. And so for us, both the husband and the wife had to do it. So I ended up making it to one in December, and then my husband went to one in January. So it wasn't until we finished both of those orientations that we could even start the process. So Michael's my husband. Michael did his in January, I did mine in December, and then we both had to fill out, I think it was lengthy, I can't quite remember, but anyways, a relatively lengthy application process, and just to get started. So then they run your background check and all of that, and then once that's done, they have you start training. So what was interesting for me was with our training, I just, I'm very A-type, and so I envisioned kind of having a bulleted list of all the things that we were going to specifically be doing. So take this class, take this class, take this class, do this online thing, here's a list of all the documents that we need, those kind of things. And that wasn't really my experience, which apparently I'm just a weirdo and really like things structured very specifically. So anyways, that was interesting for me, but we were able to get along just fine and move along the process. And so we took 6 classes actually at our agency, and so those were led by the foster care developer and the director of the agency. And so that was fun. We got to interact with other foster families who were also going through the process. There was one class in particular that we went to that was basically recertifying foster families already in existence, and they put us in that class because we needed that class, I guess. I don't know. But it was neat because we got to talk to all these different people who already had experience in fostering and are part of the community that we're walking into. So that was a really cool experience. But anyways, we took those 6 classes, and then after we took those 6 classes, we found out that there were also lots of online classes that we had to take. So we went through the online classes, and just to be fair, they're relatively boring. They were mainly just classes that you read through. It's not like a video or a webinar or anything like that. It is just written word. And so my husband and I would sit there and take turns reading, and we tried to make it fun and do goofy accents, because when you're sitting there reading for 2 hours and it's relatively boring material, that's what you got to do. So we did that. You take the tests at the end and submit that to the agency. And so we were able to get that wrapped up in about, I don't know, a month or so probably, because we have 3 children, so we do things on the weekend and during quiet times. So anyways, we did that, and then the other part of the process, which was the very lengthy part, was there's a whole list of things that they need to approve, like documents that they need in order to approve you. So those can range from anywhere from birth certificates, social security cards, driver's license, the obvious stuff, but also home and auto insurance. You also have to get a fire inspection and a health inspection. You have to be CPR and first aid certified, so we had to actually sign up for a class, and we did that on our own independently. Also, our dog, love my little pixie dog, but we have not been the best pet owners with maintaining shots or heartworm or any of that. And so luckily, all we are required to have is rabies. So we went and got our rabies shots, $15 later, not a big deal. And we were able to get that turned in. So anyways, a whole list of things like that. One of the most tedious processes for us, though, was we had to turn in a floor plan of our house that was labeled and had dimensions in each room. Sounds like an easy thing, except for our house doesn't have a floor plan already drawn. So we literally took like the land plot diagram, I guess, that you get when you buy the house, and I blew it up, and then my husband and I took a tape measure, and we measured all the rooms, which the house is not perfectly square in every room, and so it was very complicated, but we did it. And then labeled it, and then you make a copy of that and have to have like evacuation routes drawn on it as well. So did all of that kind of funny stuff. We actually have it posted now in our house. Other things that you have to do is get all of any cleaning chemicals. That all has to be locked away. So ours is underneath the kitchen sink with the little baby latches on there so that the baby can't get in there. And then also medicine. So I have one daughter who has some medical stuff. It's just asthma, allergies, and eczema, but it requires daily medicine 2 times a day, lots of different things. And so we have that easily accessible for us because we use it so frequently. But that's not okay in fostering. In fostering, you have to have it locked up. Like physically, it has to have a lock. So we ended up moving it all into a caboodle that comes with a key and a lock, and it stays locked, and it's now above the washer in a cabinet. So no baby's going to be able to get to that, which is great. So anyways, went through all of that, had to get, do a walkthrough with the agency and with the health inspector just to make sure all of that's squared away. And then kind of the last thing that was really weird for us was when we first had our fire inspection done. The fire inspector failed us. Our house was only built 2 years ago, so I didn't think it was going to be that hard to pass the inspection. But the only reason we failed was that we have a fireplace and there was no immovable barrier between the people and the fireplace. So we had to get creative, and so the fire marshal said, some people, they'll go buy a fireplace grate and then they'll anchor it to the fireplace. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to anchor and screw up my tile in my fireplace. So what we did instead is we went to Lowe's, and they had some pre-stained wood, and my husband just kind of layered the wood. So, like wood walls you see nowadays, it's kind of like that, but it has hinges on either side, and so we're able to secure those hinges to the framing around the fireplace mantle, which was better than screwing into the tile itself. So anyways, that was kind of funny. It took a little bit to get that done, but we got it done. So really, I just say it's a very tedious process. So for us, like I said, I started with that first class in December. We weren't licensed until July. Now, caveat, we have 3 kids. We've got a lot going on. My husband's a teacher. I work for a nonprofit. We're busy people. And so, anyways, it just took a while to get it all done, but we're done. And it's going to be great, and we're excited. Something that kind of took me by surprise, though, in this process was that, when a church or a friend or whoever is communicating the need for foster parents, you hear about what a desperate need there is. And there is. There is a huge need. Definitely need great foster families. But in my mind, that meant that we would get licensed and we would have a baby in our home within, a week at the most, was kind of my thought. In fact, a friend of mine who went through the agency with us, she and her husband got licensed, and within 8 days they had a brother and sister in their home. And so, I just kind of anticipated that we only needed 1 kid, right? And so we would have a kid within a week or so, and that was not what happened. So we waited 3 weeks, and on the third week, while I was in a very important work thing, I got a call from the agency, and so I was so excited, just over the moon. And the best news ever was on the other end of the line, and that was that there was a baby girl at the hospital waiting for a foster family, and would we be interested in taking this baby? Yes. Yes, please, yes. So we were so excited about it and ready to welcome a foster baby, and so I went back to the work thing that I was doing and just kind of made it through until the end, and then where it was about 2 hours later by that time, and I hadn't heard back from our agency, and so I went ahead and just texted the director to see what was going on, and through our text conversation found out that she had just got an email saying that the state had ended up placing the baby somewhere else, and so I was heartbroken. But my incredible work family, they're rooting us on in all of this, and so they understood and had me go home for the rest of the day. And so randomly my husband was here, and we honestly just spent the rest of the day watching TV in bed, just kind of being together and, you know, just kind of mourning what had happened. And it was devastating because we really were just super ready, and we have 3 girls of our own, and so having a baby girl in the house would just be fantastic. So anyways, that was difficult, but it was okay. And so I've just kind of been persevering since then, and it's been hard because every time my phone rings, or every time it doesn't ring, I'm just anticipating constantly that we're going to get a call. And so, you know, school's quickly approaching. It's Tuesday, and school starts next Monday. And so I was really hoping that we'd have a baby before school started and have some time to get used to them. And my husband's parents are coming this weekend, so I wanted them to get to see baby. And I'm off today and tomorrow from work, and so I thought, oh, it'd be the perfect timing if we just got a baby, you know, today, and then I could take it to the doctor tomorrow, and we could spend some good time together, and our babysitter will be available Thursday and Friday, so it'll be great. And it hasn't happened. And it sucks. But God is good, and I'm trusting Him, and He will use us in His timing, and so that's going to be good. And He's faithful. And, you know, ultimately the goal of foster care is reunification with the family anyways, so if there's not a need for a baby to be removed from their family, then, you know, I'm all for that. So I will be patient and I will be faithful, but that's kind of where I'm at. I will say something that a friend of mine has said repeatedly is that the foster care journey is one of a roller coaster. You're up and you're down and you're up and you're down, and that's definitely been our experience so far, and we've only been licensed for a month. So anywho, thank you for listening. I hope it was helpful. As we continue through this journey, I hope to make more videos and be able to be hopefully helpful to you guys. So thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.